Hello everyone and welcome to Soma Vitality Wellness. In today's video, I'm going to discuss about diet for insulin resistance or diet for balancing your blood sugar levels. Now, did you know that if person is insulin resistance, like in the case of insulin resistance PCOS, where individuals struggle with their weight, this eventually leads to type 2 diabetes and the risk of heart disease. Now, if you don't know what is insulin resistance, let's first understand that. The level of glucose in the blood is controlled by the hormone insulin. After we eat, the amount of glucose in the blood rises. Now, insulin is released to bring that glucose levels back to normal. However, if your blood sugar rises too rapidly, the body ends up releasing too much insulin. This causes the blood sugar swings too low, making us feel tired and fatigued again. This is sometimes what we call as blood sugar roller coaster. Now, understanding this, that it's the hormone insulin that makes you fat and keeps you fat. The more insulin you produce, the fatter you become. So, what increases the insulin level? Now, prolonged intake of high glycemic index foods. These are starchy, sweet foods that releases their blood sugar very quickly in the bloodstream, causing excess production of insulin. The problem is when the body produces insulin too frequently, the body starts to ignore the insulin message, and that is what we call insulin resistance. Now, this can permanently lead to high levels of insulin in the blood and high levels of insulin being released in the blood. This further increases the weight gain, and eventually that leads to type 2 diabetes and heart diseases. So we understood that what is insulin and what causes high level of insulin in the blood. Now I'm going to tell you 7 tips that you can do to balance your insulin resistance and high blood sugar levels. Now, first is the timing of the meal. When you eat is as important what you eat. To balance your blood sugar, eat at least 3 main meals, balanced meals a day. You can also do intermittent fasting, but that depends on the individual requirements. So make sure you're working with someone when you do intermittent fasting. Now, second thing to remember is your GI rating. GI rating is your glycemic index of carbohydrates. Now, carbohydrates with GI over 70 are usually considered very high GI and are best avoided. Those with rating of 50 to 55 are low GI, and that should form 1/4 of your plate. Those in between 70 and 50, you can eat it occasionally instead of low GI foods. Now, third thing to remember is your sugary drinks and hidden sugars. Now, avoiding all fizzy drinks, squashes, fruit drinks that all contain are very high sugar levels. Fourth thing to remember is your protein power. But protein slows the release of glucose from the carbohydrates. So make sure that you are eating your protein at each meal. The best protein choices you can have is skinless chicken or turkey or fish, eggs. For the vegans and vegetarians, you can have beans, lentils, raw nuts, tofu. These are all good protein choices. Fifth thing to remember is your stimulants. Avoiding your stimulants like coffee, tea, energy drinks, alcohol, they all disrupt the blood sugar, so they are best avoided. If not avoided, at least reduce them to a significant level. Sixth, very important thing to remember when you're working and balancing your blood sugar is supporting your gut and liver. Now, individuals with the insulin resistance um, tend to show that they have gut dysbiosis, meaning there is more bad guys than good guys. So, if you are someone that tried all these and you feel it hasn't worked, maybe it's your liver and gut that needs the support. So, having bitter foods like watercress, apple cider vinegar or citrus fruits like lemon will help in supporting your liver. Now, let's talk about hydration. That is the most important thing if you're trying to balance your blood sugar. If you're dehydrated, your stress hormones will shoot up and you will struggle with your blood sugar balance. The last thing I'm going to talk about is your lifestyle. Now, despite this video about diet, it's important to mention that if you're staying late at night, you will struggle with food, and you will also struggle with managing your stress if sleep isn't your priority. So when I'm tired, I want to eat everything in my fridge, and the reason is that at that time you crave high calorie and high carbohydrates foods during this time. So if you're not getting enough sleep, make sure that is the important and the first place to start. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we will be talking more, we'll be discussing more about different health issues.